Hey comic book fans, welcome to the Comic Fix, your one-stop shop for every single thing DC Comics to some creator-owned and a little bit Marvel. My name's David, and welcome to the Fix. So I'm going to start things off with Marvel Now, and their launching title, The Uncanny Avengers. Now, with the Uncanny Avengers, I did not read any of the AVX that was going on for the past 6 months. I had no interest in it whatsoever. But then I was listening to some people talking about this title and just telling how good it is and how refreshing it is. So I thought I would give this book a chance. Am I glad that I did? Yeah, it was actually, I thought, good storytelling with some really good art in a ending that just made you go, oh my god, what is going to happen? Now the storyline is that Charles Xavier died in the AVX event that happened. And all the X-Men are getting together to tell stories about Charles and to just say who the guy is and what he meant to everybody. It's basically his memorial. And it was just so cool getting to see all these perspectives of how Charles meant to everybody. There's a point in there where you see Cyclops and his brother talking to one another. And you're like, wow, this is really cool, really powerful. And to see how much Charles Xavier meant to the whole Marvel Universe is quite huge. It's quite huge to have him get killed off. Now, will he come back? Most likely. It's definitely, comic trope for somebody to die and then come back. But it was really nice to start a series with a memorial and talking about the past, and now they can move on to the present. So I thought that was really cool, really well done. And for me, being a novice at Marvel, this book was easy to get into. That's one thing Marvel has been wanting to try, is to make the books reader friendly. And if you know the movies, you go in this book, you know everything that's going on. They make it very simple for you to get what's going on. And that's one thing I really enjoyed about this book. You can take a person who doesn't read Marvel all that much, get them to know what's going on, and just enjoy the story. The only bad thing is that with it being a memorial and them talking about Charles Xavier, it can get a little bit boring for some readers. There is some action with Avalanche, but it was a little, with the action scenes, it was a little done with really quickly, and then you were back to the somber scenes. So there is stuff here for people. It's just, I don't know if they're gonna like all the remembrance of Charles Xavier for it being one full issue. But for me, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I'm actually put the Uncanny Avengers on my pull list, and I think it's gonna stay there for quite a while. And Rick Remender, I wish you were back on DC side, but I'm so glad to see you getting some really good quality in your work with Uncanny Avengers. For me, I'm going to give Uncanny Avengers issue number 1 a 4.5 out of 5. Really cool book, and I would recommend everyone go pick this book up. It's actually worth it. And I'm one of those guys who's been really thinking about not picking up many $3.99 books to say, hey, I don't want to pay $4 for a comic. But I thought the quality in this book, I was okay with paying it. Because most of the $3.99 books, the quality is not there for there to be a $3.99 title. But with this one, I did feel that way. That it's actually worth the $3.99. The writer and the artist in whole Marvel are putting their money where their mouth is to say, yes, it's the $3.99 title, but there's quality here. And that's what you get with Uncanny Avengers. Next book is the last book in Jonathan Hickman's run of Fantastic Four, issue number 611. This was actually a pretty cool book. I didn't know what to expect with Jonathan Hickman's last issue. I know he was going to tell one shot, which that's all he could do. And it was actually a really, really cool one shot. So Doctor Doom, he has the Infinity Gauntlet. And what does he do with it? He creates his own entire world. And he becomes their god. And it's just so cool to see him. And you see him in the first couple panels of saying, day 1 he did this, day 2 he did this, day 3 he created this. And I was just like, oh, this is cool. And then to see him on day 6, day 6, and just looking like he's bored already, that was really cool. And then to see his creation just go against him and take over the Infinity Gauntlet. And when they did that, they took all the rubies of the Infinity Gauntlet and gave it amongst themselves. And it was just so cool. And the only help they can get is from Mr. Fantastic. It was just a really cool one-shot. I really liked the whole vibe that you got out of this comic. Jonathan Hickman just had so much fun with this issue, and it just shows all around. The art in here was the only downside. I didn't see anything spectacular about the art. But Jonathan Hickman, you just see the fun in his writing, and you just see that he's like, he may be, I feel that he still has some stories to tell with the Fantastic Four, but it's going to be cool to see another guy come on and see what they're going to do with the series. I've been with Fantastic Four for about 10 issues now, and I gotta say, I really like Jonathan Hickman, and I usually don't pick up many Marvel books, but anything with Jonathan Hickman on it, I'm going to definitely pick up, because he just has this way of writing that it's just fun. I would like to see him maybe on a Spider-Man book when Stan Slott's done. And it'd be cool to see him on some Avenger titles. See him do a little something different than what has been getting the norm of the Avenger titles. So I had a lot of fun with this issue. This is a $2.99 title, and even if you haven't been picking up Fantastic Four or any of Jonathan Hickman's run, there's something here for you. It's just a one-shot. New readers can come into it and enjoy the story. That's one thing I like. I like what Stan Lee said, is that every book is someone's first. And if this is your first in the Fantastic Four, you're definitely in for a fun ride. And it's strange to say, because usually sometimes the last issue of somebody's run, they try and tie up loose ends. And this loose end that he tied up, it was really fun. It was easy to jump into. I really enjoyed Jonathan Hickman. I'm ready for the new guy to come on. Don't remember his name right off the top of my head. But if you're looking for a fun story that will just put a smile on your face, with fun action, look no further than Fantastic Four, issue number 611. So in the end, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Those 2 Marvel books I picked up this week, really, really good, and I just enjoyed myself reading each one. And they offer something a little different, where I got the somber side with the Uncanny Avengers, and then I got the fun side with the Fantastic Four. Now to get onto the serious side with Punk Rock Jesus, issue number 4 of 6. So Gwen is the mother of the clone of Jesus Christ. She has departed from the J2 Project. The people behind the J2 Project told her never come back. Well, she's out to get her son and get him free from this prison that the clone of Jesus Christ has been through. And the consequences of Gwen trying to save her son is going to change the whole groundwork of the whole entire book. I'm not going to ruin much, because this book right here is just so revolutionary. And just the way the story's told, how it's not afraid to say what it wants. And what it says may offend a lot of people. But not me. I'm just liking the bold statements that they're saying in this book. And people may think that this is just a Christian bash. But no, it's a bash on everybody, from Christians to just the way that our world works nowadays. And it's nice, though, as you see in this one with the Chris on the cover with the looking like he's ready, he's already in his punk mode. You actually do see Punk Rock Jesus in this issue. And I just don't know where this book's going to go. At the end of this issue, it's just like, man, this book can go anywhere. And with each issue, I'm being surprised again and again. There's not many series where you can actually be surprised anymore. But, what's his name? Sean Murphy. He's putting his whole heart and soul into this book. And I just like the boldness of this book. And it's weird to see a big title like DC/Vertigo put this type of stuff out. And I'm glad to see comics actually being bold in their statements and not trying to be censored in any way or trying not to offend anybody. This book's definitely going to offend. And me as a Christian, I was not offended whatsoever. Seeing what Chris has gone through, the clone of Jesus Christ, I don't blame him for feeling this way. I would feel this way. And I know that a bunch of Christians are going to feel just offended by this book, even if it may not even get any hype. But me, personally, I just see this character, and in the first 3 issues, seeing him grow up, and seeing how he is now as an adult, you can see exactly why he feels the way that he does. And it's just so cool to see. I know that in the first 2 issues, I was kind of wondering, where's the punk rock? Well, Sean Murphy wanted to tell the story of the clone of Jesus and see how he's grown up, and to see the final outcome in this issue. And I just don't know where the series is going to go next. It could go anywhere. Would I recommend anybody who isn't picking the series up to pick up with issue number 4? No. I would say wait for the trade, or go to your comic book shop, say I want 1, 2, and 3, and then pick up 4. You're in for one of the best reads that you've read in a long time. And with each issue being $2.99, the quality in here is unbound. I would be easily pay $10 for it. It's just every single issue. I mean, the quality in here is just so revolutionary, and just this book bleeds cool. So with Punk Rock Jesus, issue number 4, I'm going to give a 5 out of 5. I just cannot believe how good this series is and how it's going to be a cult classic. I don't hear a bunch of people talking about this book, but I know that once it comes out into a volume, this book is going to explode. And I hope it does, because Sean Murphy, I never read anything of yours before, seen any of your art, but I am a fan. So, in my next issue is Batman, Death in the Family, issue number 1, which is actually issue number 13, but this is Death in the Family, part 1. The Joker is back. It's just so scary to see how Scott Snyder writes the Joker. There's a point in there where the Joker goes into the police station, and all the lights go out, and all you hear is the Joker starting a joke and being like, "You heard this one already?" Snap. And with each of the snaps that you heard of him cracking the guy's neck, you felt it. Just the way that Greg Capullo did the art and the way that Scott Snyder did the writing, it was just scary. And I love the cover. If the cover you see is Batman, this Joker, oh, it was just so scary. I mean, I have never read a Joker story as just like this, where Scott Snyder is going in the depths of his dark soul and putting out this work that's just breathtaking. And I think that this issue right here is probably my second favorite issue of Scott Snyder's run with the New 52 on Batman. The first one would be the one where Batman's in the cave or in the maze, and you start turning the book because Batman's going crazy and so is the book. And there's a lot of fun to be had here. This is not a story which I would give to like a little kid, be like, "Hey kid, do you want to read a Batman story?" This one I felt is just for the adults. It's getting into the dark side of Batman and just seeing how crazy the Joker is. And even in the part where it gives you the little second story, that part with the Joker was awesome. Everything about this issue just was creepy, and you were unsettled after reading this book. And that's what I really want out of my Joker. And this Joker in here in the New 52 is just crazy. And I love how Batman, he was wondering, where is the Joker? Why did he cut off his face right when the New 52 started? And just to see that payoff finally is amazing. And I'm kind of glad, I'm really glad to see that Scott Snyder's the one doing the payoff with this. Where if Tony Daniels was the one, because he's the one who started, it all started in Detective Comics with Tony Daniels. Tony Daniels would have ruined the whole entire thing. To see the quality that Tony Daniels was doing with Detective Comics was terrible, and I was always wondering, when are they going to finish up that story with Joker in his face? Well, they're finally doing it, and it's just unsettling with just the way Scott Snyder writes the Joker. And even Batman is just like, I don't know what he's going to do next. So I'm going to give Batman, issue number 13, Death of the Family, Part 1, a 5 out of 5. And it's funny though, these books that I've been reviewing, reading them back to back, has been one of the most enjoyable reads I've had in a long time. And then I got 2 more to review for you guys. Next one is Batgirl, issue number 13. As you can see, she still has the same cover that Batman does, but inside is the Batman face, or the Batgirl face. Now this issue right here was really hurt by the 0 issues. Because with the 0 issues, we didn't get the conclusion of Gail Simone's story arc that she was telling, and you get the conclusion in here. Nightfall has stabbed Batgirl. Batgirl is given all she has to defeat Nightfall. Now, will she or won't she? You have to read to find out. The negatives I found in this book was that there was points in there where Nightfall and Batgirl are fighting, and then the fighting stops, and then Nightfall tells her backstory. And when the backstories happen, I just didn't feel like it felt natural. It was just like they were in the middle of a fight, Batgirl's giving it all that she has, and she's losing blood like crazy. And then Nightfall just stops, Batgirl stops, and then Nightfall's allowed to tell her story, her backstory. I was a little bored with it. I was just like, wow, would this really happen in real life? No, it wouldn't. Nightfall, or Batgirl, is about to, lose it. I mean, she's losing so much blood. Why would she just waste all those moments with listening to a backstory? Just finish her off and listen to the backstory when she's in prison and someone's sitting there and saying, like, tell me your story. Who are you? So I felt that all of that parts was not as well told as it could have been. But the good parts in this book is just the artwork and the way that all the pages just flow together. It's just really cool to see how everything just goes. I mean, if you just look at this book, it's just so cool with the layout. And the artwork in here is top notch. Batgirl has definitely been a book that's been on the up and up for the past 3 months. It felt like Gail Simone is finally getting to a point where she's just telling some great stories with Batgirl. But this issue, I felt, was lacking. It was hurt by the 0 issues. It was hurt by the way that Gail Simone was telling the story, with trying to get in the backstory of who Nightfall is. And all that hurt the story. But then at the end, where you got a little tease for Batgirl's part in Death in the Family, or not Death in the Family, or Death of the Family. That part was cool, but I felt it was a little lacking also. But I'm interested to see how it will play out in the upcoming months. So in the end, I'm going to give Batgirl, issue number 13, a 2 out of 5. There was a lot of misses in here where the art saved the book. Now on to my last book for this video, and that's Batman and Robin, issue number 13. First off, I gotta say that this is a really cool cover, and it's definitely getting into the Halloween theme. Is that an eclipse has just happened, and it was a really cool family moment where Batman's taking Robin up into the look at a satellite and explain to him that during an eclipse that usually satellites will sometimes fall out of the sky or whatnot. And it was just a really cool family moment where Damian looks at Bruce and just says, "Did you ever love my mother?" And I was just like, oh, I actually want to know that answer. And I loved it though. Bruce's reaction was very stale, and just like, for a moment I did. I was just like, wow, that is really cool. And then there was a point in there where Robin talks about how his mother's put on a hit on him. And I was like, okay, so they're actually getting some stuff into the Batman Inc. books. Because I was always assuming that the Batman Inc. was DC saying, Grant Morris, do whatever you want. And Grant Morris is doing whatever he wants. And I thought, none of that's canon. Well, I guess the hit on Robin actually is. So they get back onto Earth, and they find out during the eclipse that a bunch of bodies have raised and zombies are running around. That was when the book got dumb. There's a point in there where Batman tells Robin, go back to the Batcave, I'm going to deal with everything. And then Robin does what he does best. You know, ignores what Batman says, going to go look into what the Joker's doing. And then a hitman comes after Robin, and that's when the book got really corny. This guy looked like a lizard type thing, not like Killer Croc, but just like a weird alien type thing. And Damian's in the sewers at this point, and then the killer or the alien thing pops out. Damian throws a rat at him. The rat starts eating the alien's tongue, and he gets this stupid line like, "Rat got your tongue." I was just like, wow, that was dumb. And then everything after that with the zombies was just dumb. I hated the art because the art switched after 15 pages. The regular artist was on the first 15. Really good. I thought the quality was good. I liked the writing. But then the last half of the book, a new artist came on, and it felt like a new writer came on also, because the quality of the writing went way, way down. It just became really campy. And I just didn't feel like this book right here had any direction or any personality. It was very bland, and the ending just ruined the whole entire book. And I gotta say, Batman and Robin, after the Nowhere, I think that's what the guy story arc was. After that story arc got done, the first 6 issues, the first story arc, was high quality. But then the second half of this story arc, or the second story arc that the writer's telling, his quality has gone down, and I don't know if he knows where he's going. I think he just had one story to tell, and then that was it. So I don't know where he's going to go with this series, but I'm kind of losing interest pretty fast. So I'm going to give Batman Robin issue number 13 a 1.5 out of 5. With having I really hate it when comics have 2 artists on there. Sometimes you don't really notice because the artists try to mimic each other. Where in this one, no, there was none of that. The regular artist, he was doing his regular work. And then the second artist came on. The artwork just didn't mesh as much. The writing just went down in quality. And that's one thing I don't like seeing in my comics. I like seeing consistency, and I would rather wait an extra couple weeks or a month and have the quality there instead of low quality, which DC has sometimes been doing when they have 2 artists on there. So that's it for this video. In my next video, I'm going to be doing the rest of my comics that I got. Got some Frankenstein. What else do we got? Suicide Squad, Team 7, Green Lantern Corps, or Corpse. Got some good stuff coming your way. So if you're a new watcher, subscribe up top. To you old viewers, like on the bottom. My name's David, and hope you guys enjoyed the fix.